Now, I know I may be a little late to the party making this video, but as we all know, Minus Zero had a trailer drop recently, and I kind of want to go over everything, and I want to see if I was right for my previous video. Because in my previous video, one of my biggest theories was we bombed Godzilla again, and he had mutated or evolved. And with this trailer, I am fairly certain that I was right. But before I start rambling about if I was right or not, I would of course like to go over the trailer and show off what was new. So, the first shot of the trailer is Godzilla still in ruin. Nothing new, same shot from the first trailer. However, the second shot is Godzilla charging his atomic breath. And I think this is a deeper blue color from the first movie. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. However, the location is obviously a place of ruin, which is more than likely New York after Godzilla pulls up. Then the next shot says, can withstand even a thermonuclear strike. Now, this is huge because then the following scene, they show someone piloting a plane and that person drops a bomb. Now this is one of two things. One, this is the thermonuclear strike they just talked about and Godzilla tanked it, or this is a different bomb they're hitting Godzilla with. And I want to circle back to this because I believe if this is a separate bomb, this would connect my original theory of we bombed Godzilla and he just came back stronger than before. Then we get the message, our crime and punishment, returning to zero. It's not an option. And then that's when Godzilla comes out of the water after chasing that plane. And that's where the trailer ends. So, yeah, there's a lot to talk about. And one of the big things I do want to talk about is his design. In Minus Zero, he goes through two designs. Obviously, we've seen what one design looks like from the first trailer, and it was shown again. But now we have something that looks like this. Immediately, I picked up on how he's hitting the same pose Legendary did back in 2014. And his face does look pretty similar from the image here. However, there was a toy that was recently teased, and he has more of a Heisei-ish face going on. And he has some really cool Millennium-inspired spikes going on. And I really do think that's quite cool. However, there is another design that was shown at the end of the trailer, and it was in the first trailer as well. This design looks very similar to Minus One, but a lot beefier and bulkier with shoulder spikes coming out of them. This is all we have of this design currently at this moment while I am recording this video. And it still leaves the question of, why did his design change? Because with Legendary, for example, from 2014 to King of the Monsters, Muto Prime was the reason his dorsal plates had changed in lore. So, that still begs the question, why did his design change? Because if you remember from the first trailer, when he pulls up to New York, he looks like Minus One. But now, we have two new designs. We have the one where he's all big and beefy, and we have the one to where he looks like Heisei with Millennium spines. So, does this prove the point of there are now two Godzillas? At this moment, I still think it is up for debate, so I will leave that answer as maybe. Only due to the fact that I understand the evidence to support this theory, that Godzilla goes through 3 total designs in one film. So having one of those designs be a separate Godzilla is definitely a possible theory. However, I personally think it is just one Godzilla. The reason I think this is because maybe we start bombing Godzilla again. Because obviously in the trailer we see them drop some sort of bomb. And in my first video talking about Minus Zero, I wrote the fact that the plane they used in that trailer was called a Kawaii. And that plane was used for bombing runs and for anti-submarine combat. So I definitely do think it's possible that we bombed Godzilla numerous times in an effort to kill him, and it did not work, and every time that we have bombed him, he has changed forms to adapt to the amount of nuclear energy he absorbs. Now, that is just my theory, and speaking of theories, I've seen this one theory for Minus Zero, and I can't wrap my head around it. People think King Ghidorah will return as the major villain for Minus Zero, because we see in the top right Godzilla roaring at a golden light. Now, I think this is one of two things. One, the sun, or two, that is something that just blew up because he fired his atomic breath at it. I think the only way they could get King Ghidorah to work in -0 would be the GMK route, making him a ancient guardian sent to fight Godzilla. Besides from that, I don't see any other way to bring King Ghidorah in. I also think it's a little too early as well to bring in something like King Ghidorah. Something like Anguirus I think would be really, really cool to see. But I will end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. But let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of the -0 trailer and what you guys would like to see. Let me know your guys' theories down below, and I'll see you guys all next time.